Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It's Wednesday, November the 2nd. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, global stocks had a mixed session with European shares rising. However, US stocks fell for a second straight session as strong labour market data undermined investors' hopes that the Fed may be less aggressive in its tightening. Mega-cap growth stocks Amazon and Apple remain under pressure. In earnings results, Uber shares took off after forecasting fourth quarter operating profit above estimates as it banks on rising demand for its rides as customers resume spending on travel and services. The chief executive saying right now, frankly, we're not seeing any signs of consumer weakness. Airbnb has forecast fourth quarter revenue below market estimates, blaming the strong US dollar, saying that bookings would moderate after a bumper third quarter, that result coming after the bell. And drug maker Pfizer has raised its forecast for sales for its COVID vaccine by $2 billion to $34 billion, pushing its shares higher as its third quarter profit beat estimates due to higher than expected sales of the vaccine. The result sent shares of rival vaccine makers Moderna and Novavax higher initially. However, Eli Lilly shares fell as it forecast annual profit and revenue below estimates as it contended with a strong US dollar. US refiners Marathon Petroleum and Phillips both beat profits as those estimates there, as refineries operate at record levels this year because of the supply squeeze from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Well, global factory output weakened last month as high inflation, China's COVID policy and fears of recession hurt demand. US manufacturing activity grew at its slowest pace since the depths of the pandemic in early 2020. The Manufacturing Purchases Managing Index falling to 50.2 in October from 50.9. And British manufacturing also suffering its biggest contraction since May 2020. The PMI for October falling to 46.2 from 48.4. Meanwhile, in the US, job openings have jumped 500,000 from August to September, despite efforts by the Fed to slow jobs growth. And in further signs of labour market strength, more than 4 million people quit their jobs in September. Chain store sales in the past week were up by 9.7% on a year ago, compared with 8.2% the prior week. US Treasuries were mixed ahead of the Fed's rate decision, the 10-year falling below 4%, the 2-year was up to 4.55%. And the US dollar was weaker against most majors. The Aussie, which fell in response to the RBA's 25-point rate hike, is now at 64.2 US. Well, the Australian share market is likely to be searching for direction this morning. ASX Futures up marginally. Global oil prices rose by around 2%. That's on optimism that China will ease COVID restrictions next year. That also saw iron ore futures jump, while base metal prices also rose, led by copper, and the nickel price surging more than 8%. Gold futures were up around 0.5%, and Bitcoin is trading at around $20,500 US. On the data cards today, locally we get building approvals and lending indicators, and overseas we get New Zealand's job numbers. While tonight, the Fed Reserve's two-day meeting will end as it hands down its interest rate decision. That is your day ahead. We'll see you again tomorrow.